Yo, Little Crab here. So I'm finally being a meta boy and I'm trying Bone Spear, but I'm trying to squeeze minions in because I have not used minions much and I want to make them work. It gives us a little extra defensiveness having them there. And yes, I am only level 68. My gear is honestly not great. I only have one ancestral piece of gear, actually two. But that just shows how much room for improvement this build has. Because even now, I'm comfortably farming World Tier 4 Hell Tides. I've been doing that since level 65. It's extremely smooth running around the overworld. I've done up to Tier 26 Nightmare Dungeons as well. I just haven't tried higher yet because I'm trying to farm, upgrade my glyphs. And in the background here, I've got a Tier 24 Nightmare Dungeon going. Anyway, let's get into the required pieces of the build. First off, we are using one unique, Deathless Visage, for echoes when we cast Bone Spear, which is a huge damage boost. And there are no other uniques required, so I will put up the list of legendary aspects I'm using on the screen, and I'm including one extra, which I've been messing around with. It's just an option, and you can swap it in with any others. Just experiment with some stuff. It felt pretty good to use for me, so I'm gonna include it. For the passive tree, we're grabbing Bone Splinters and Enhanced. Don't need the other upgrades. We're maxing out Bone Spear and grabbing Paranormal Bone Spear. 3 points in Unliving Energy and Imperfectly Balanced, along with Hewed Flesh for corpse generation. 1 point in Blood Mist. Don't need any upgrades for it. We're just using this for getting out of stuns. It's our immune, get out of freeze. 3 points in Skeletal Warrior Mastery, Grim Harvest, and Fueled by Death for corpse consumption, which we're doing with our raised skeleton. 1 point in Decrepify. I'd like to get more points in this. It's not a big deal. I am missing 2 skill points still from Renown. If you have them, you could put them here. With Abhorrent Decrepify, which reduces our cooldowns, which our only cooldowns are Blood Mist and our Taunt from our Golem, but our Golem's Taunt is really nice. Keeps us and our skeletons alive longer. 3 points in Skeletal Mage. Serration, Compound Fracture, Avulsion, and Necrotic Carapace for the corpse skill section. 3 points in Golem Mastery. I was forgoing this at the lower levels, but the longer our Golem is alive, the easier it is for us to stay alive, so having the 3 points here has made a difference. And I've been messing around with the different ratios over here. If we're staying healthy, Inspiring Leader is really nice, but without these other points, it's hard to keep our minions up, which then makes us lose health more often. I was trying 2 points here. This, it feels like you need 1 point in Death's Defense just to keep your minions from being one-shot constantly. They're still going to die often, but this prevents them from a single meteor or a single boss hit blowing them all up. Half of them will blow up, and then at least you have something left to tank for you while you get the rest back out. Maybe I could use 1 more point in this just to keep them alive a little longer. Feels like the minions are perfectly fine until they're not, and they're suddenly all dead and you're scrambling to get them all back. And then of course we're putting our last point in Ossified Essence. For the Book of the Dead, we are taking Reapers with the chance to form a corpse. This is what's generating our Fortify through the passive skill of Necrotic Carapace. When a corpse is formed from your skills of your minions, Fortify for 6% base life. Without these Reaper minions, we don't generate enough corpses to have realistic Fortify up often. This makes us max out Fortify pretty regularly. It is a huge defensive help, If you don't want that, if you want more damage, you could go for the skirmishers with each time you critically strike. It's just the skirmishers die a lot. Their whole thing is they deal 30% more damage but have 15% reduced life. They're dying way too frequently, and it feels like too much of a burden to have to maintain them up constantly. Right now, I really prefer the defensiveness of having Fortify, which also means we can start grabbing stats that are damage reduction while fortified, which is huge, or damage increases for us while fortified. We can also start grabbing the fortified glyph on the Paragon board. So it opens up more options having fortified. The skeletal mages, we are going cold for the blizzard from our boots, the legendary aspect. It's very nice for getting some freeze on, which is defensiveness for us, and we get essence from them. We kind of run out of essence pretty quick, and we want to stay topped off being a bone spear build. Every time we're casting above half of our essence, we get boost to it. And then the golem, we are taking bone with I honestly haven't decided which of these is better. I prefer this because it gives our golem 10% increased maximum life, but we take the bone golem because it has taunt. So when we push the button, it's on a 16-second cooldown. He taunts everything. It's basically screen wide, which keeps our minions alive and keeps us alive. For gems, we're doing rubies in our armor. In our weapon, we're doing emeralds for increased critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. And in our jewelry, just do the classic, look at your resistances and put in whatever you need that's the lowest. Real quick, here's my Paragon board. It's nowhere near correct because I'm only level 68. I'm only on my second board. I could be on my third board, but I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing. The main glyph we're going for is exploit. For the first board, we're doing bone graft. Rotate it so you can rush the legendary node. And I'm messing around with the undaunted glyph for increased damage while fortified and gain reduction, damage reduction while you're fortified. I don't even have the bonus unlocked to get that, so it's not doing too much for me. It just shows how much room there is for this build to improve. For the third board, I want to aim for Scent of Death. But yeah, there's a lot of wiggle room here. You'll figure something out on your own. This is not min-maxed. I just kind of rushed the big things. I'm going to put some priority stats up on the screen. Just keep an eye out for these. They're not in any particular order. Just grab what you can. And yeah, like and subscribe for more Diablo content. Next, I think I'm going to go back to a Blood Necromancer build. Try that out. And I'll leave you with the rest of this Nightmare Dungeon. Thanks for watching. Peace out.